Read a couple of little things. First of all, from Saddling the Rabbit, which is a book by Iain, published by a former port-in-residence, Nicholas Johnson, through a trust connection. This is one of the first Iain Sinclair books I came across. And I'm going to try and find which pages I meant. Right, page 7 from this. Business Love. I'm not sure I'm standing
Okay,
for it.
You're in frame.
I'm in frame, great. Business Love. The wax elephants of Whitechapel, glycerine pearls, they sit behind glass, proud on fat haunches, spread-eagle brewer's creatures, brewer's droop, his weeping eye, trophy and sediment, glitter trash, transcendence, the quest for a better battery. And then page 24, so that's from, wonderfully named, Saddling the Rabbit is a wonderful name anyway, but that's from Part 1, which is Tassels, Bluebeards and Plaster Cheesecake. And then a little bit from the even more wonderfully named Part 2, Blunt Polaroids and Unnovel Novellas of the Urban Dispensation. And this is The Slender Lozenge of the Eye from Michael Moorcock. A launch at the end of time, that's a great reference to Dancers at the End of Time, Michael Moorcock book. A launch at the end of time, crushed velvet and portraits, blue haze of contracts unsigned, remembered cigar smoke, gutted soul, buttery and blatant, private rooms where Graham Greene persuaded his paymasters to sponsor another equatorial burn, ringed hands parting, velcro thighs, fiction, the English way, upon the shore of a glowing chemical lake, Sexton Blake sweats under a mushroom cap. Can't excavate his luggage ticket without small mercy, cardiac infarction. A fistful of steroids to chase the penultimate Campari, typist's friend. 40-odd years in the Purlos. Under the flyover, the concrete island passes the snap of Dylan Thomas in some cellar, ogling the talent, busking for credit, heavy turtleneck sweater. Hello, George. Bible salesman, living on yesterday's weather, glint on brass, then the door slammed, wives, horses, stampede down the line from Paddington, due west, like returning oil revenues, 1,000 miles into the tumbleweed. Hitch your pants, kid, you can't tell, sitting, if you've pissed yourself, or found a spider of ash in the slow gravy. Wonderful. So yes. So I know Iain first and foremost as a poet. That's when I first came across Iain's work. So it was eye-opening to realise he was also an extraordinarily popular and successful and sophisticated writer of prose as well. That was kind of a nice aside. In my head, though, he's still, the most important person you could be in the world, which is a poet, obviously. So one of his latest books is 50 Catacomb Saints, which, if I'm right, is just about to be published with Tangerine Press.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, we've been reading some stuff which is kind of historical in a sense from Iain, but Iain is still churning out work. There is a lot of work coming out. He's an incredibly prolific author. So we caught him at a really good time to be our writer in residence. So I thought I would read one of the pieces from that, and then read something that I've done with the start of 50 Catacomb Saints. So this is Iain's part 1. She had the death of one waking from the dead, curiously dipped in death, with a tenderness far more new and vulnerable than a child's. That's kind of epigraph. The smile of the first saint is hard black sugar. She is exposed in a pinch of skin, factored from the contact lenses of blind beggars on the cathedral steps. Her vacancy is imported from a wax Halloween mask rescued from a thrift store in the underground market at Seattle. Then microwaved by island monks, hard drifts of Alaskan snow are coated with runes of yellow wolf piss. The saint attracts a special caste of mendicants, fated to solicit coins never given from poor native women and foreigners lofting cameras like prayer cards, foolish eyes down beggars, necklace in laminated permissions whisper Santa Innocenta. Cold hands rub against soft bellies under soft green t-shirts with heavy metal skulls. Santa Innocenta. They narrate unmasked a fable of virginity made absolute by ravishment. The bridal froth of the saint's communion dress is a rip of stitched moth wings. She floats out in a swan-shaped coffin boat. That's the first of the 50 saints. So what I've done is taken the text and pulled out every seventh word. This is a technique I've done with various different texts, and I hope it produces something of the voice of the poet, so we'll see. So it's called Sinclair 7. Waking death and of sugar, of her Halloween in microwaved Alaskan yellow special coins, and foolish whisper, soft, heavy, unasked, by saints stitched, a sandpiper group of the and yellow, by which penance thin. Second tall if an ancient soup, passport country, requirement, wrong sparrows. The also poet barking. She English mortal was little life when dead. In fourth tarpaulin broken suntrap, three flopping of legitimacy due, bags this older filters on lake, flowing, dreaming. It's spent the tethered authentic from. The English of instruments, strings, passerines was erect, him continued, cup upper, a Greek leaves bean salt. With on-in event, the has never until punchy recall had as Marsh's Ramsey, bonded workers, Highbury postcode, recovered sky, end stop, up sixth under. Foot-foundered thieves, wires transport memory, thoracic and limps can't, terror bridge, straws, admires, modernist, flesh tongue, suburbs, broccoli the often, distance, and sip spare the flies boatman, the El Jackwood, what? Rode thee to sentiment, mud, and the theatre, knuckles, through of with while carved place of armpit, a vest some, bent being thick-packed, elsewhere. Lawrence morning supplements of world-like, and when even the own heat, the path he outspoke labour, a line trimmed mammary, thought attendant, the breath veil, that dark, fierce, turpentine excitement, stepped that the discs up the picture. Dedicated a revealed right that something, temple recover suggestion, a shining fill 2000 was skeletal visitors, archaeology is the people. Therefore, in his emotional grant rush, being privileged, the lives the Maya have to back the trouble be Olsen blind, what in a pyramid to post feathered the wind thereof eyes flight. And that's from 50 Cents.